Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Future Stars live on Hidayat TV. I'm your host Shah, and just to remind you about the topic, we talk about sins and effects part 3. So we're going over sins and their effects and how we can counteract them and what it actually does to your body and how it can actually affect your soul. And so before we continue with what we're talking about before the break, we have a demonstration from Hussein, and he's going to show how sins actually affects our soul.
So throughout the show we've been talking about how sins and effects can affect your soul and your lifestyle. So say this pure glass of water, say if that represents when you're born, and so you're pure then, and then as soon as you commit a sin, just one sin, one dot of ink, you can see how it just spreads throughout, causing your soul becoming from pure to impure. And then after a while, that one sin, when you commit another one, it keeps on adding and adding. So which means when you do another dot, your soul becomes more and more impure, which means that.
Wasn't we talking about how it can spread through, and erase other things as well, erase other your good deeds, and we're saying how does it show that it's erasing your good deeds?
Yeah, as you can see, most of that glass of water is now black, so you can see that from the good deeds, all you can see is the blackness, and the blackness is representing the bad deeds, so all you can basically see is the black deeds. So you can see how powerful the bad deeds are to overcome and have more of effect than the good deeds does. So over time, as you keep adding, it's just going to keep getting more blacker and blacker. So that's how this bottle of water represents your soul. So look how much black and inky that water is compared to how it started. So imagine that as your soul. How many bad deeds have you committed? It would represent to you.
Yeah, and now Miss Mohsin, you can say, because we can see it more clearly than you guys at home. So isn't it spreading out and it's clouding all the good deeds, isn't it?
Yeah.
That are in there, and now you can only
surrounding it.
Yeah, it's surrounding it and absorbing it kind of, and can you see? So we can only see a little bit of the clearness now, and now it's all black now. Slowly gone. So now I think now it's all black. We can't see. Mostly, can you see any of the good deeds? A little bit, tiny bit, and is a bad deeds going into it now? Yeah, so this just shows how through even if you commit good deeds, that how it can spread across and cloud your what? Your good deeds and what good deeds you've done.
And even say because how we were talking about earlier on about major sins and minor sins, even though if it's a minor sin, it will still have a massive effect this.
Yeah, and even if you keep doing the minor sins as well, it will come up and gradually it will become the same as maybe a major sin as well. Yeah. So thank you for that demonstration, Hussein. And this showed us in physicality how actually these things actually can actually destroy our lives, kind of. Yeah. So how can we get that black ink, out of that water?
You can do that as when you ask for forgiveness from God, or what the person who you committed the sin to, you can ask for forgiveness from them, and then gradually if you ask for forgiveness and they forgive you, every single person, and God forgives you for all of your sin, then it's going to become pure again.
Yeah. So to get the thing out, to get the ink out of the water is harder than from putting the ink in the water, isn't it? So let's say from really it's actually a bottle of water, you put ink in it. To get the ink out, what do you have to do to the water? You have to what?
You have to evaporate it.
Yeah, evaporate it, boil it. So first they will put the ink water into there and they boil it and
you have to condense it.
Yeah, and then it will go back to being what?
Pure water.
Yeah, water. So so like that, it's harder most people, it's harder for them to get these sins away from actually committing those sins. So what are you supposed to do? So from boiling that water, boiling that ink water, what did it represent for yourself to do?
Asking for forgiveness.
Yeah, asking for forgiveness. And actually, more you do it, it'll become easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like every night, like we were talking about, after you whatever you've done in the day, and before you go to sleep, you can pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask for forgiveness for whatever sins that you've committed in that day. We're saying,
like, but what's it called, like you could say that every night you like ask for forgiveness and they'll be cleared away. You can think of it as that, but it's not always good that you can just think, oh, it's like I don't mind if I just commit a sin, because then afterwards I can just ask for forgiveness. It shouldn't be like that. It should be if you commit a sin, it shouldn't be on purpose or that you don't care about it.
And this is the important thing that Hussein's talking about, that I'm gonna commit this sin, and then later on this night, like I'm doing every single night, I'm gonna ask for forgiveness and Allah will forgive me. See, after you've done that sin and after Allah's forgiven you, what you should refrain from, what should you refrain from?
You shouldn't commit it again.
Yeah, you should refrain from committing it again and doing that bad deed again. And even if you, let's say you've had a great day and you haven't even done anything bad, what should you do at the end of that night? If you, or what should you do? Take examples from our Imams and Prophets.
You should still ask.
Yes, still. Even if, because did the Imams commit any sins or the Prophets?
No.
They're sinless. So,
but yeah, they still ask for forgiveness.
They still ask for forgiveness. You see, Imam Ali alayhi salam, every single night he would pray for all night he would pray asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness, even if he never even committed a sin in that day.
And not only like ask for forgiveness, but also like thank Allah for like giving you a life, giving you a happy life. So you should not only like asking for forgiveness, try to ask for like try to say to him or thank him basically.
Yeah, thank you for that. So before the break, who read? Can you remember?
I read and then Mohsen reading.
Yeah. So what are you talking about then? Can you remember?
I think
lying.
Lying.
Yeah, it was lying. Yeah, okay, so we'll go on to the next thing. Most you've got the next thing. So can we start Muslim off with the loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala
Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum. Backbiting. To talk about others behind their backs has become a very common thing in society. Most people cannot prevent themselves from backbiting when they sit down with others, but backbiting is too major sin and Allah forbids it because it ruins good relationships among brothers and sisters. Allah says in the Holy Quran, do not spy or let someone backbite others. Does someone of you like to eat the dead flesh of your brother? Salawat.
Allahumma
salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum.
Thank you for that, Mohsen. So, backbiting, a really big bad thing, isn't it? Yeah, and thing that most people do, commonly people do it really commonly, and people even forget about they don't even know that they're doing this.
That they're committing a sin.
Yeah, they don't even know that they're committing this thing because they got so much accustomed to it, talking about other people behind their back.
It's just natural now.
Yeah, it's natural for people to do it, which is really a bad thing, and it's a really bad habit that we should all refrain from. Yeah, and what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in the Quran, what does He compare it to?
Eating the dead flesh of your brother or sister.
Yeah, eating the dead flesh of your brother
or sister.
Yeah, it's a really bad thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if Allah compares it to that, it just shows how realistically bad it really is, and what punishment you would actually get from that. So thank you, Mohsin. Hussein, you've got the next thing. So can we start Hussein off with loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
3. Disobedience to parents. Parents do a lot for their children. They bring them up from the time the child is born and look after the child until he or she becomes strong and independent. All this is done with great love and affection. Most parents wish only good for their children. So when parents treat their children with such care, it is not right for children to be disobedient to their parents. Allah says in the Quran, your Lord has ordered that you should worship only Him and be good to your parents. If either or both of them reach old age with you, do not say to them, nor speak badly to them. Speak to them in a nice manner. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah. Thank you, Saint. So what was you saying talking about there? So
How how you shouldn't be disobedient to your parents.
yeah, so now we're going through those sins. We're talking about those sins. We're actually physically talking about those sins now, and we talked about lying, backbiting, and now disobedience of your parents, and we made a program on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Also, so it's a really bad thing for people to do, as they're the ones who provide for you and everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what was you saying talking about there? Any of you remember?
Like disobeying your parents.
Yeah.
Talking about that.
Well,
You have to worship Allah and be kind to your parents and don't speak to them in a bad manner.
yeah, and what did the Prophet say? That you can't even say what off to your
Or uff or to your parents.
yeah, off or to your parents.
Like sigh at them.
Yes, cite them. So even if you might not say it, people might say, oh, we won't even say off or we might not say it, but it shows that a small word like off, something like that, can be really harmful for you, for yourself. Yeah. So even if you don't say off or something like that, and you can say a bigger word like, oh, I hate you, all this to your mom or dad, and that'll be even it'll be a bigger impact, have a big effect on you. So even if you might not say off is like the slightest, just showing you, the Prophet is showing you that even a smallest word, saying a bad smallest word to your mom or your dad is a really bad thing, and a really sin that can affect you like that ink. So Mr. you've got the next thing, so can we start Mr. off with loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
We know the bad effects that sins have on us. Now we need to always remember them. We should never forget that Allah is watching us, that He cares for us and He wants the best for us. If we keep thinking about Allah throughout the day, surely we will commit less and less sins. So from now on, let us try to keep away from sins, especially the 3 sins we learnt today. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah.
So thank you for that. So like Misbah said, what we learned today?
The bad effects sins.
Yeah, the bad effects that sins have on you, on your soul. We've learned that by what? The erasing of good deeds, the hardening of your heart, and the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and
disobedience of your parents.
yeah, that's in the sins. So we've learned these effects that it has on you, and now and then also we learn these 3 sins. We've learned the effects and these 3 sins as well, and we should refrain from these sins as they're really bad for you. And what do we normally do at the end of the show?
Quiz.
A quiz.
Before you know that 100%.
Yeah. So Mohsin knows the question I'm gonna ask. So out of 100%, how do you go? 99. 99. Okay. So I have 3 true or false questions, and then 2 multiple choice questions where you can choose A, B or C. Okay. Number 1, true or false? Sins have many bad effects that continue to harm us even after the sin has been committed. Hussein?
True.
Yeah, that is true. Number 2, one of the effects of sinning is that the heart is hardened. Hussein?
True.
Yeah, that is true. 3, lying is a minor sin. Misbah?
False.
Yeah, that is false. Lying is what?
A
major
A
sin.
major
But,
sin.
It's still a sin
but it's still a
nevertheless.
sin nevertheless. So even if you commit that, you can still become that full water bottle with all ink in. Okay, now multiple choice. So number 1. So let me finish. So now what I'm gonna do, because you all keep putting your hand up at the same time. If you put your hand up before I say end with C, that means you're disqualified from that question. Okay. Okay. Number 1. What does erasing of good deeds mean? A. It means that a black spot is formed on your heart. B. It means that our good deeds will wipe out because of our sins. C. It means that our bad deeds will increase. Mohsin?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What does erasing of good deeds mean?
It means that it means that every time that
A, B or C?
B.
Yeah, B, that's right. So it means that our good deeds will be wiped out because of our sins. Okay, number 2. What does Allah compare backbiting with? Misbah, because you're the last one that all 3 of you put your hand up. Because all 3 of you now, Misbah was the actually last one. So I'll let her answer this question now. So how many points have you both got?
2.
You got 2? 1?
I got 1.
You got 1. So Misbah, you can draw. You get draw first place with Hussein if you answer this right. What does Allah compare backbiting with? A. He compares it to a very bad sin. B. He compares it to disobeying our parents. C. He compares it to eating the dead flesh of our brother.
C.
Yes, C. That is right. So at the end of that round, Hussein and Misbah is in joint first place with 2 points, and Mohsin sadly in last place with 1 point. But don't forget, you're all winners, and you've learnt a lot on today's show, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I hope you lot at home also have learnt a lot on today's show, as it really is a important show, and our sins and effects series was really important, as it showed all these sins and effects and how to actually counteract them, and it even gave you a demonstration, a physical demonstration, just to show you the effects of these sins on our body. So we'll see you next week with another fiqh lesson, same time, same place on Hidayat TV. But until then, Good Hafiz.